What if I told you that this season of Sister Wives has shown to me that Robyn Brown is planning her exit strategy? Because on the last episode of Sister Wives, Kody and Robyn again talked about their relationship, and Kody and Robyn again had to discuss and check in about how things were going. And it's pretty wild that throughout this season, almost every talk these two have had been about the health of their relationship. That's not the sign of a healthy friendship. My husband and I were watching this most recent show, and I said to him, "Can you imagine if every week I had to ask you if you were emotionally safe for me? If there was anything I could do that could improve our relationship? If you were happy with monogamy? Are you okay with just being with me? Can you be open with me? Do you trust me? Are you happy?" Right? It's tiring. When you have a good relationship, you don't need to always talk about your good relationship. You don't need to check in to see the state of your relationship. To me, I get the sense that Kody and Robyn are leading pretty different lives. I noticed on this season that Kody spends a lot of time in the garage. He seems to actually almost live in the garage, to be quite honest. And Robyn is always going to the garage to see him. And listen, I don't think he's actually living in the garage, but I think that he is in the garage a lot. I think he spends a lot of time away from her. And Robyn in this tell-all is about to throw Kody under the bus. She's going to say that Kody and Janelle were going to do a secret deal when it came to the co-selling of Coyote Pass. She's going to take no responsibility about the money that Kody used from Mary's Las Vegas home to pay for Kody and Robyn's house. Instead, she is going to deflect those duties onto Kody. I noticed that in the most current teaser that came out for these tell-alls, they didn't include a clip that they included in the very middle season trailer. I'll show you. I think Kody and Janelle were trying to kick me out. They have no problem cutting her out and letting her just take. I do not agree with things that he does. I do not agree with his attitude. So Robyn not only calls Kody emotionally unsafe, that she pulls back when he's emotionally dangerous, but now she says that she doesn't agree with him and what he does or agree with his attitudes. And that reminded me of when Robyn was going through her divorce and trying to get the kids adopted by Kody. She wrote this long rambling letter about all the ways that Preston had failed the kids. And it's not there's laws in place that say you can't withhold visitation just because someone is behind on child support. Even if they're behind, they still get to see their kids, right? But Robyn and Kody used the child support problem and medical expenses of an accident that Kody caused when Dayton was on an ATV and he drove into a barbed wire fence. And in order for Robyn to get Preston stripped of his control of the kids, she painted him as though he was abusive. In fact, this is one thing she wrote. During his trips, the petitioner is extremely demeaning when speaking about Robyn. His phone has her named as Reality. Petitioner's family is also very unkind when speaking about Robyn. Petitioner tells the children that they are too expensive, informs them of things he cannot buy when they are with him. They wanted him to pay $29,000 for medical costs, plus the cosmetic surgery that they talked about on the show. And then she said Robyn has a lien on her house from these expenses. Then they framed him as though he was irresponsible. And said during the meeting, petitioner also conveyed his view that no court would ever make his pay support, because Robyn made so much money. After the meeting, supporters spoke with the children, and he would not let them say a word about wanting to be adopted, and just pressed them for visits, and to tell him that this was in fact not what they wanted. The children attempted to tell him how they felt, saying that they really needed to tell him something. He later said that this was proof that Robyn was pushing them to tell him they wanted to be adopted. Petitioner then, after nearly 2 years of not seeing the children, saying he only wants them to be happy, would agree to the adoption if the children wanted it, is frantically trying to see them for spring break. And then she got them so wound up about how dangerous their dad was, they became so nervous that she had to take them to a doctor because they were so scared of their dad. Even though a lot of the visitation that got stopped for Preston was because Kody and Robyn were filming. Kody and Robyn were busy. They were at Disneyland. Kody was buying them all kinds of things. He was love bombing these kids. And then they moved from the original deal was that Robyn would live in Utah, and they had an agreed upon place where they would drop the kids off, and it was a halfway point where he would drive down from Montana. She would drive up north, and they would meet there and drop off. Well, she moved all the way to Nevada without telling the court. And he would call, and she would say, "We're shooting. We can't talk." Or whatever it was. She always had a reason. And Kody was very much in the background, directing what was going on. And one of the deals with their divorce was that the kids would be on Montana's life, like health insurance for Medicaid, because they were low income. And because they were low income, they qualified for it. And Robyn had health insurance as long as the kids were on Medicaid, which was through Montana. Well, she chose to close all of that off in 2012. And then Dayton got into an accident and she had no health insurance. None. And so the fight was for a very long time that they were supposed to be on, and they qualify under me for this health insurance that's free, and you took them off. And so she framed Preston as a reckless father that called her that disparaged her, that made the kids nervous. And anytime he would try to talk to the kids to just get their side of the story, she would then accuse him of ambushing them. Here's an example. I cannot believe how upset the kids were when I picked them up. You're lying to the kids. Dragging them into adult problems and upsetting them is really not emotionally healthy for them. If you need to know anything about Dayton's accident, you need to ask me, the parent. You never asked me anything or called to check on him. He said you were cornering him and kept changing his words. So did Aurora. Our parenting plan says that we are supposed to not drag them into adult issues. I need you to make this change. If you can't, then I will get the judge to make sure you do. Another thing. The kids are tired of your pushing them to live with you. It's a moot point anyway. The judge would never justify it. So, he was trying to find out what happened to David Dayton in the @V crash. She charges him of coronering him because he asked his 13-year-old son what happened and then threatens to go to the court and says, you don't get to ask them to live with you anymore. And then that's when the whole adoption thing happens. So she has this habit of accusing people of not being emotionally safe, of not accusing them of not agreeing with them, accurately accusing them of not agreeing with their views. She set him up to fail. No matter what Preston did, she moves further away. Whenever he calls, he can't see the kids. He's 3 states away, and she's controlling a filming plan, and the kids are working. And by the way, he is supposed to agree to them working, and he has no say in Kody's dictating all of that. Right? So now she's starting to flip on Kody, right? And she's saying, I pull away when you're emotionally dangerous. I don't agree with your views. I don't agree with what he does. She's acting like she knows nothing about Kody using Mary's money for her home. She's acting like she stuck up for Mary and dragged her feet to protect Mary. She's doing all kinds of plausible deniability. She has made comments about how his anger is scary. She has told him, and in this episode, she said that he was back to his normal self. She was so glad. She knew he would come back to himself. And then yet at the tell, all she's bawling that she doesn't agree with what he does. Robyn is setting Kody up. And by the way, Kody deserves it. But Robyn is going to divorce him. I don't know when. It's coming though. And despite the fact that Robyn was a willing participant with Kody and really was a driving force in how his views changed. I mean, if you saw the beginning of this tape, you saw how Kody wasn't going to make the kids sign that agreement or the family mission statement, and then Robyn said that she would kick them out and make them move out if they didn't to Maddie. All right. And then you saw his attitude change? And then he suddenly becomes more patriarchal. She pushed him to be more forceful, more bossy, more controlling. She did. She really did. But she was like, in a way, kind of like de facto, like she was pushing him to be more patriarchal and more controlling. But all of that control helped her because it was what she wanted, if that makes sense. But now she's going to use that change of attitude of Kody against him, and she's going to go to a judge and say he would never excuse Kody having access to his kids. He would never explain her not having alimony or spousal support. She will accuse Kody of abuse in court, just like she accused Preston. And given the fact that Robyn and Kody look unhappy and everyone else appears to be thriving, and the two of them are still crying about the family falling apart, there's just to me no way that this family continues. And I think it's evident that Kody's aware of the fragility of this relationship. Because on Nick Fell's show, he said that he wanted to retire Robyn from reality TV. The Robyn Brown that we see today is a very different Robyn Brown. She says that she is shy, but it's just a manipulation. It's a manipulation where she's remaking herself as a shy, demure woman. When the truth is that you watch the older shows and the older seasons, she was never shy. She was never quiet. She was always strong. She never shut up. Now she's shy. Okay. Robyn is also, some of you have said, not meek. I believe she's playing the role of a submissive partner. Whether she's actually a meek person, I don't know. Does she play the part of submissive to Kody? Does she allow Kody to do whatever he does so long as it helps her? Does she respond to him and to his needs and to his wants? Yes. 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 And yes, she does all of that to help her. Whether or not she's actually a submissive person, that I don't know. But I know for damn sure that she's not shy. And I also know that she since the very beginning has said she speaks Kody. She is, if anything, a compulsive liar. But then again, so is Kody. When you have two people that both have a problem with the truth, that are both narcissistic, that are both manipulative, it's only a matter of time before that relationship implodes. Because their relationship only worked so long as they were the ones that controlled the money and had the family. And now that their reign is broken and their image has shattered, it's going to be all about damage control. And clearly, because Kody's attempt to reclaim the story and to try to play the good apology man, even though now he's going to be yelling and screaming at the tell-all, was the apology even authentic? Was it even worth it? I don't think so. Something else I know about Kody is that if and when they do try to divorce, because Kody is someone who loves to abuse the court system, I could see them filing for divorce using pseudonyms, names that we couldn't find if we were to look. I could see them filing for divorce and filing secretly so that we can't see it. I could see them trying to keep all of it out of the public eye so as not to further damage their images. And yet the other part of me could see Robyn vindictively putting it all out for the public to make the spectacle and to vindicate herself. But what stays clear is that Robyn already has a blueprint for how to smear a man and get everything, including the kids. In the case of Kody, he is already a monster, and so it's not that difficult for her to make these accusations. The only difference here is that there's a past and a pattern of Robyn not being the best mom. And when they do finally split and divorce, it's going to be such a mess. It's going to be a knockout dragout. It's going to be two worlds clashing. And I just want to know, when do you think it'll happen? Tell me what your ideas are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!